Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Blue Abroad preview. And on today's episode, obviously, we know it's a big week, and I've been looking forward to speaking to this chap for a while. I speak of the Collingwood, the main Collingwood fan channel on YouTube, but that's Mr. Swoop Luke. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, dude? Yeah, not much, mate. Not fucking much. A little bit nervous, a little bit excited. But we'll see how we go.
Yeah, we had a good conversation. I think it was after Carlton Collingwood had played, and obviously you know starting off on the YouTube journey as well. And I want to start with the respect. Yeah, I want to start with the pleasantries. I want to say congratulations, and I love your work, and I respect how much time you put into your craft. And I hope the channel goes well for you.
No, thank you. Yeah, just so we'll get the pleasantries out of the way. But no, I appreciate that, and you've been a big. You and Dan have been a big help in that as well, and you guys use one of the first channels that I've seen doing kind of what I was doing. So, well, before me, but yeah, you've helped me along the way, so I appreciate that. So is that all done? We can
yeah, that's all done.
Off? Yeah, good.
Now you can go fuck yourself. No, look, this is what we live for, and you know. I know what it's like. I mean, I had Amy Williamson on last year, who's a big fan of yours. I got her onto your channel, big Collingwood supporter, and she sort of tells me the same thing every year. She's like, I'm sick and tired of you Carlton supporters talking shit before the game about how this year's going to be different, and then it ends up the same every year. But Luke, I'm telling you, brother, it is different this year. We are good.
I know. I can feel it. I can feel it. That's why I started talking shit straight away, because I can feel that. I watched a couple of Carlton games and stuff, and I watched that Gold Coast one, and what you were able to do to them, like in that weather up there as well. Gold Coast are not a great team, but they're decent. Just carved them up, and yeah, I'll be honest, I'm fucking scared, man. Of course I am.
Yeah. Well, what's happening on your side? Obviously, and if anything I read is obviously going to be tainted with bias, but what is the situation with the Pies? What's going on?
I've gotten a lot of messages and a lot of comments, and everyone's just fucking nervous, man. That's, and I assume would kind of be the same to you guys. You probably have a little bit of gusto with how you guys are playing, and you're seeing how we're playing, and everyone's messaging me going, "Do you think we can win? Do you think we can win?" And I always think we can win. You know, same with you. I've seen one of your videos, and you're like, "Yeah, I always think we can win," and it always happens. You know, it's always a 50-50 game, and you know, until right at the final siren when you can't do anything about it. But yeah, it's a lot of nervousness, but a lot of excitement. You know, it's probably in recent memory, it's probably the biggest Collingwood Carlton game that we're going to be a part of for a while. You know, we haven't played finals together in a long time, but this just feels like a grand final in a sense. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
But still,
I think part of that has been because it's been Carlton's fault, because we just. You know, we've gone through this second rebuild now, and we've had teams on the park that, you know, they're not. We've had just pieces that either aren't old enough or mature enough to compete.
Yeah.
Like Paddy Dowd, for example. I remember 2 years ago, he made a quote in his first game that he played against Collingwood, and he matched up on this stoppage against Adam Treloar, and he was saying, I just didn't have the running power to go with him. And, you know, I think we finally, I genuinely believe it, I think we now have a team where we're not really carrying too many guys who it's like, oh, you know, I don't know how he's going to go. We got guys who spread the load pretty well. I know it's the Crip show for the outsiders, but that's not really what it's been for us this year. So, and, you know, obviously we're coming off a 9-day break. You guys have got some injuries. We've got some as well, but, you know, we're playing better footy than what we have.
Yeah, but who are your injuries? Like Cruiser and fucking Marchbank. You haven't got DeGoey or Howe or fucking Treloar on the side, right?
Charlie Curnow, mate. Don't forget the name.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, yeah. So he can so at least he's not getting floored again. You know, this game.
Well, at least he wakes up in his own bed, mate, not on the fucking beach.
But yeah, like I know what you're saying, man. It's like I said before, Carlton have what they've been able to produce, this whole Teague train hype and stuff. I thought it was going to die down, but it's just, and I think I said it at the start of this season or the end of last season, where if we don't win a premiership for the next 2 years, you know, Essendon, Carlton, they're all going to come up, and you can see that they were building. And you know, if we don't win the next 2 years, that you guys are just going to overtake us. And I genuinely believe that, and you can see that. Like you said, to the outside it's Crooks, but you got all those other midfielders. I don't watch a lot of. I do watch some Carlton games. I don't watch a lot, so I don't know who the fuck you've got in the midfield. But I can see. I don't know their names, but I can see how they play, and it's an exciting time to be a Carlton supporter, and it's a nervy time to be a Collingwood supporter.
Yeah, mate, it's been too long. And, this week, obviously, we're building up the rivalry because it's, for Carlton supporters, some of this generation say, Essendon's the biggest rival. And this week I had a really good reminder because I spoke to a guy named Paul Barbaza, who's very well known amongst the Carlton faithful, who's come from, the generation before you and I, where they'd go to Victoria Park and you fucking scumbags would spit on them and throw BB cans and... so it's ignited that a little bit.
It fires you up, yeah, it does.
And you guys have just been too good. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, like I was watching, I was doing a bit of, because I got a video coming out, obviously, later this week, and I was just doing a bit of research on YouTube and stuff. And at one point, I think it was 2011 or something, you guys had the ledger at like 125 wins, and we were like on 111 or something. And then you look at this week, and it's like 127 wins to you guys, 126 to us, or whatever it is, something crazy like that. And it's about, and we're just about to even it up. So you can see that for the last 9-10 years, you guys just haven't had the wood over us as you had previously. But it's just going to be a clash of the fucking Titans this weekend, let me tell you.
Absolutely. I want to ask about some Collingwood players who I don't know what's going on with them. Now, I know I hate Collingwood, but I do enjoy the Bear, Braden Sire.
Yeah.
Why does he not play? What's going on there? I think he's good.
So in the Adelaide game, he nicked his quad in the end of the first quarter.
Okay.
He played on, and then Collingwood come out the next week and he's probably out for like 6-7 weeks. Like fuck. So how bad do you do your quad and then play on? So to the detriment of us. But yeah, so he's out for about 6 weeks. But I love the way he plays. You probably see it when he wasn't playing. I was just calling for him to play every single week because I know what he can bring. But yeah, so he's out for 6. He won't play till finals if we make it. So it's a bit shocking.
Okay. So are you guys making any changes this week? Obviously, Sidebottom's coming out. So what's
Sidebottom
going on
comes
there?
out. So I think it's hard because Sidebottom, when he wasn't out for that 4 weeks, we tried like Wills in there, Sire in there, Cal Brown in there. What I think might happen is that Jack Crisp goes straight into the middle. I don't know if you probably haven't watched a lot of it, but Crisp, his connection between the mid and the forward line, hitting targets, going inside 50, one of our most effective kicks. So I think that's really going to help us, and they might bring in Isaac Quaynor after that shin if he gets up to kind of take that Crisp role as a running halfback while he moves into the midfield. I don't think anyone. It's hard because Sidebottom is so good on both feet, in and under, but then he's really smart with the ball, and we don't have another player like that on the sidelines. Cal Brown's still too young, and he seems scared when he gets the ball. Tyler Brown, too skinny to be up against a good midfield. Wills doesn't do anything besides tackle. I just don't feel like we have that silk in the twos to run like Sidebottom runs. So
how the fuck are you going to stop Jack Martin?
So we got a guy named Greenwood playing, which is very nice. So all Greenwood has to do is line him up, and Martin will drop like a bag of bones, mate. Because he's pretty much all bones at the moment. If there's not a fight within the first 5 minutes, there's something wrong. But I think last year Pendlebury ran with Cripps. So I dare say that probably happens again because you don't want to, like you said, it's like Hydra, with Carlton. You cut one head off and 12 others pop up. So if you tag Cripps, you guys can win without him having a decent game anyway. So I think Greenwood has to go to one of your second or third most damaging players, and Pendles lines up on Cripps and plays that tagging, attacking sort of role.
Yeah, I remember listening to the Jock and Journo podcast and Pendles talking about tagging him. I think there was a game where Cripps absolutely got a hold of him a couple of years back, and I think the very next game Pendles squared it up. So that's exciting. I actually would have thought Taylor Adams is the body to go with him just because the strength and Cripps is, he's 6'4", a midfielder. So
yeah, I didn't realise. I realised today how fucking tall he is, man. Jesus Christ,
dude.
key position player, pretty much. Fucking hell. It's
so
huge.
my other question is, are you guys going to go with this Grundy, Cameron, Cox combo?
I think Cameron comes out for my check.
Oh, is he back?
Yeah, so Checkers will be back. Bit of a talisman for us as well. But Cameron doesn't really. I like him, but he doesn't really do a lot. He's a confidence player, just like Cox is. But I feel like Cox, he brought a lot last week. Our game plan is centered around Cox, and when he doesn't play, our game plan is still centered around him, which is insane because he's not playing. So all he needs to do is mark it a couple times and bring it to ground. But Grundy, Cox, and Checkers will hopefully. That's what we're hoping for.
Yeah, I didn't realise Mychek could be back because that was a pretty nasty hit. So
It was huge. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's a very good player. I'll give you that. He's a good player. Cox, on the other hand, I mean, who is Wiedering playing on? Who's your gun forward that Wiedering will play on?
He'll play on Cox.
Oh.
We'll have to.
Did you watch the Gold Coast game? Yeah.
Yeah.
You see what he did to Ben King? I mean, yeah.
So it depends what you want to do, right? If you put Wiedering onto Cox and Cox does fuck all anyway. So you're just losing Wiedering. You're losing your best defender, and then it leaves Mychek or maybe Stevenson comes in as well to kind of run riot. But Teague's probably smarter than that and puts Wiedering onto probably puts him onto Mychek. But Mychek plays that centre half forward up to ground a little bit more. And not stay at home as much as probably Wiedering likes. Yeah.
No, look, I'm pumped. Talk to me about your experience with the rivalry, even though I don't really care about what you feel about Carlton, but for your fans.
So like you said, we're not of that generation where it was like the 80s or the 70s, 80s, early 90s and stuff like that. And like I grew up not really around football, so I only started really in high school. So being a Collingwood supporter in high school is pretty hard because Essendon and Carlton, they just overtake the school, So rivalry is always like those sort of football games at high school and stuff like that. So that's where the hatred kind of comes from because you see your mate's face and he's real happy that you guys won, and then it just doesn't, and you have to see him every day, you know what I mean? So it just kind of spurs you on. But with Carlton Collingwood, personally, I think it's just in your DNA to hate them, really. Like you said, you don't have to be around in the 70s, 80s, or the early 90s or whatever. You just know to hate them, and you can't say, you can admire them, like say, like I've been saying, cool, you guys are doing good. But I don't want you to win against Adelaide. I can say that you're doing good, but I don't want to fucking win against Adelaide. It just fires you up. Like that video you put out yesterday. Oh man, I was ready to put my fist through the fucking screen, man. I was so fired up, and that's why I started dropping my videos. I was like, "Fuck this, man! I ain't taking this sitting down. Fuck that."
Well, it's on you and I, mate. We've got to carry the tradition. We've got to make sure there's rivalry.
100%, man. 100%. It's a new generation, and hopefully, hopefully the boys feel it too. Because sometimes if you don't grow up as a Collingwood supporter or whatever it is, you don't feel that rivalry when you're playing for them or something. But it's as soon as you get onto the ground, all bets are off. Doesn't matter if you're fucking grown up with the guy you're playing against. All bets are off, mate. Gloves are off.
Absolutely, mate. Well, I'm not going to ask you for your prediction because I know what it's going to be.
Carlton by 76.
No, I appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on. I'm glad that the sergeant was allowed to, give you some time out of yourself so you can go back if you want.
Hey, I was going to take. Oh, I got my dentures in. Yeah, they're in. It's all good. It's all good.
No, good luck. Not this week, but good luck with your channel. I wish you all the best in that regard.
No, you too, man. Thank you.
If you're a Collingwood fan watching this and you're not subscribed to Swoop Luke, go on. You what are you doing? You've got to get around him. Take care, mate. I'll probably speak to you Monday when. Oh no, after the game if we've won, but if we haven't, stay away.
Fucking hell, man. I'm scared. All right, thanks, buddy.
See you, bro.